Hindi in South Indian offices. It is so frustrating. Official language in those companies are English. ये कर दो वो कर दो इसको nobody cares. But in official meeting, speak the language you are hired because we have come there to work. If you tell in a way we can understand only, we can do the work. मुंह से निकल गया. How is that in stakeholder calls? You're easily able to say, hey Chris, how's it going? मुंह से नहीं निकल गया. Welcome back to episode 2 of Random Acts. Today we are going to talk about how South Indians suffer because of Hindi in the workplace. Alright, I don't know if you guys noticed, okay, in my last video I had my Bengaluru cup. If you all didn't, I have it here. So in every video I'm going to keep changing my cups because I have like a mug collection. It's the only decor I have, okay? Cool. Anyways, like the cup, I am definitely from Bengaluru, born and brought up here. So I'm from South, okay? And I worked here my whole life. So I know what happens here. And if you're working anywhere in the southern part of India, you will quickly be able to relate. And even if you're not, please watch this video for just some basic awareness of what is going on when North Indians come here, work. They do this mistake, which is like, we're like, man, don't make us hate you like this. I'm gonna tell you what it is, okay? See, first of all, this video is not about what language you should speak in South Indian states. I'm not saying come to Karnataka, speak in Kannada, because that is another video. I might do that in the future, but this is not that. This is only office. And when I'm talking about office, most people who come down here come for the IT workforce, which the official language in those companies are English. It is not the regional language of the state, or it is not the self-proclaimed national language of the country, okay? It is the official language on which you gave interview, on which you have done your education, which you're supposed to talk. But what so often happens here is because a lot of these people come down here for work. Of course, they are free to speak whatever language they want among themselves. I will talk in any language I want with my friends, colleagues. You can talk any language you want with your friends and colleagues. But in official meetings and when you have to communicate about work to all your teams, when you guys use Hindi, you will like, are we not supposed to understand it and complete the work, or what are you thinking, or are you so uneducated? Okay, now let's take it back to why I think this happens. Okay, and it's a very natural thing why this happens. Like I said, people tend to speak in their comfort language. So now I by default speak in Tamil to anyone who knows Tamil because I find it comfortable and it brings that closeness. So obviously people will speak in Hindi to people who know Hindi because, you know, it gives you that comfort level, better bonding and so on. Speak, nobody cares. What they tend to do is because if there's a team of 10 and let's say 7 people know Hindi because they will be from different parts of the north. Since it's such a popular and widely spoken language, they will all know the language. But when you come down, let's say to Bangalore, there are people who know maybe Tulu, there are people who know Kannada, Telugu, Tamil. In front of them, there might just be 2 people. Like I'm saying, maybe 8 people in your team know Hindi. If you speak about work in that language, how are those 2 supposed to understand? So this is why it happens, because majority of India, those states, the northern states, since they know the language, they all just speak about it. That is why it happened. Why it should not happen. Now, in this example, I say one person knows Telugu, one person knows Kannada. If they don't know what you're saying, they can't do their job well. So they will tell you guys, and they always tell you all, okay, initially it's just like as subtle comments like, hey guys, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया, and in very broken Hindi they will actually struggle and try to attempt to teach you people to stop the ashes. You guys will be like, oh sorry, it just came off, or you know, मुंह से निकल गया, or something like that. You guys will be like, oh no, we said it, and things like that. Instead of stopping it, you will try to teach that person Hindi so that they can do formal business understanding in a regional language. Now let's move on to why it gets very frustrating for us. Okay, I have been in part of actual project briefs, okay, where people talk about ETAs, how to get there, stakeholder communication. They'll be like, ये कर दो, वो कर दो, इसको पूछो, इस data को निकालो, ये analysis करो. And of course now I'm more comfortable with the language, so I can actually understand it to quite an extent. But when I started, I'm like, firstly, working itself is hard. In this, trying to understand this alien language that I don't know, and then do it like, For what? And again, I'm being so clear, okay? Like break time, chilling time, when you're sitting next to each other and you want to crack some jokes, speak all the Hindi you want, speak it to them. They will learn a new language. Let them respond to you in whatever language they know. All of you chill. Like, I used to always do that with my colleagues. That's how now I've developed such a good understanding of the language Hindi. And they again speak the language, learning from me. I'll be like, I'll show them movies and things like that. That's how it's supposed to be. And the hypocrisy, this is where it really frustrated me, and I've called it out and I've changed so many people's behavior is A, you're not supposed to speak any other language except English. B, when you do, I have told you, you could have stopped it. C is where when I get really irritated is when these people sign up for clubs like diversity and inclusion and become ambassadors for the company. You are not doing inclusion in your own team from your own country in whose states you have come to live and eat. What diversity and inclusion you will do worldwide? This kind of hypocrisy is where I'm like, all right, something needs to be done. I have actually called so many people out on this behavior, and I actually don't even mind so much when team members speak among themselves, because it so happens when managers conduct meetings or when they're speaking to their teams, addressing all in all, and they speak in Hindi, I've called it out. I'm like, speak the language you are hired, or do not think you're competent enough to run a multi-regional team. Go back to whichever language you want, sing Hindi songs also and sleep. So this has become a very increasingly frustrating experience for everybody involved. So I would strongly encourage the people who are doing this to stop, because you have learned this foreign language. English is a foreign language, right? It was not our Indian language. With great difficulty, you've got educated in it. You've given an interview in it. Speak it. And these people, sometimes when you call them out, they're like, oh my God, sorry, muh se nikal gaya, or something. They'll be like, oh, it just comes out or something. How is that in stakeholder calls? You're easily able to say, hey, Chris, how's it going? How's the weather down there? And things like that. That time मुंह से नहीं निकल गया, like at that time it doesn't come from your mouth, like what are you saying? But having said so much, I do want to call out some people who genuinely struggle with English irrespective of the language. There was one colleague of mine where I told this to her. She was actually a senior, so I was learning from her. So I was like, hey, so when she was teaching me, when she was teaching these things, she'll be like, इसको download करो, ये formula लगाओ, ये compare करो. I'm like, just talk to me in English, please, love, when you're trying to teach me something. Apart from that, she always talks in Hindi, like when she shows pictures of a family, and I'll be like, oh yeah. When I told her, she's like, mujhe English utna acha nahi aata. And so she meant to say that her English is not that good, and that is the truth. That person genuinely was bad at English. Even for stakeholders and things like that, she would personally keep very quiet in international calls because that was not her strength. Such people, excusable, because people are bad in English, doesn't matter which language you are. But the people who know how to converse, who speak very well to your stakeholders, you have least respect for people from your same country, that you're picking people from the southern states and you're making them uncomfortable in the cities they live by having official conversations in Hindi. And then you'll have a problem with the way the city treats you. Come on, man. It's like someone always tells me, if you want to be the change, start from your house. If you want the outside world to stop treating you like shit, start from your office. Stop speaking to your teammates who don't understand the language in that language. It will solve a lot of issues. And for the people who are tolerating this behavior, see, now I'm being very clear. I'm only talking about international organizations where the official communication is English. Now, national organizations, Indian organizations, we can't do so much because maybe the interviews itself are conducted in regional languages. That way it's fine. Speak whatever, do whatever, and we have to be more understanding of the culture. But international organizations where this is happening, just tell them nicely. Tell them the second time, not nicely. Third time, just escalate. Because I am so sick of people who are from here. Like if you are from, I don't know, any southern state, if you're from Hyderabad, Hyderabad is an exception because everyone there speaks Hindi so well, but on their own will, which is great. Love you guys. But if you are from, I don't know, Bangalore or Chennai, and you go into the office in your own city, and I see this happening to my friends now. I am fortunate enough to have understood the language, so I can understand to some. They're like, we don't know what was said in the meeting only because how many ever times I tell my, I don't know, manager from Bihar, they only keep talking in Hindi when they have to give me official communication. I'm so sick of people feeling that way. You tell them nicely, not listening, tell them, not nicely at the same time, if not just escalate to your team in the US or wherever, saying that. Escalate doesn't mean like you tell, hey, I am from South India, put one map and be like, I have problem with North. Please don't portray anybody from our country like that. Just say, I want to do my job well. This person is not talking to me in English. I can't understand. Can you help us out? It can be as simple as that. But please don't tolerate this kind of behavior. And for the people who are doing it unintentionally, I totally understand. I totally understand. It just comes out naturally, right? But if someone tells you, you have to intentionally change. And if you don't change and sign up as this diversity and inclusive ambassador when you can't even clean your own shit in your own team, this is what is going to happen. So, yes, that was my rant about regional language issues in the southern states of India. Guys, I mean, I always want everybody to feel good where they work, because when you feel good, you do your best. And nobody deserves to go into the office and not understand what they're saying, because outside people have come off and they're speaking in a language among themselves. Like, imagine if that happened to you in school. You're like, I feel so left out, I feel so bad. Wow, this has turned into one heavy advice sesh. That is the beauty of random access. Random topics, all of them have one thing in common, where you get access to me, Ran. If you liked this video, like. If you didn't like this video, like. I'm a crazy person. Okay, guys, so please drop comments, because I honestly don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking about thoughts that come into my head. Okay, so if you have some thoughts that are in your head but you don't have camera to shoot, put in comment. I will speak on your behalf. I will speak on everyone's behalf. Alrighty. Good old justice fight. This episode was a justice fight, I think. Alright, bye. Alright, man. Fighting for justice.